So what we're going to do is we're answering your questions. I got a ton of questions, some of them more personal and some of them more funny, and we're going to find out what Alex thinks, and we're going to go through all these questions for your and so we're going to go through all these questions for you. That's like me 100 times. This is me in every video.
Me too, though.
Coach the Manlet Greg, and I'm here with the giant
Alex Eubank.
And see, what you don't know is that I'm actually taller than him in person. You never knew it.
No. Yo, YouTube. No, Google says
I'm 5'8". Did not expect
5'8".
this.
Yeah, Google says I'm 5'8". I'm 5'10", though.
So he's 5'10", and I'm 5'6" manlet. But like, we're sitting up straight.
It looks like we're the same height.
We're the same height. No. Girlfriend approved. We are the same height. And so I just got like little manlet little legs. That's my problem.
Yeah.
So that settled it. So you guys, I'm actually tall in real life. If you meet me, you'll be like, I can't believe how tall that Coach Greg is.
No, I actually thought you were kind of taller. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody said you were like short. I thought it was like what I expected. I didn't think you were.
And honestly, I thought he was the same height and the same size as I expected. It's just like exactly what I expected is what I expected.
I'll take
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think that's good. That's good. I think.
It can't be bad.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, I came in and you were a short little manlet, like, and you had no muscle. Like, wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're answering your questions. I got a ton of questions, some of them more personal and some of them more funny, and we're going to find out what Alex thinks, and we're going to go through all these questions for your and so we're going to go through all these questions for you. That's like me 100 times. This is me in every video.
Me too, though.
We're going to go through these questions harder than last time. How about that? What's one thing you agree with me on, and what's one thing you disagree with me on?
All right.
Agree first.
Okay, I agree with you on the aspect, like, you like training intense, like, failure.
Harder than last time, all out. Failure.
Yeah,
Beyond
I like training.
Failure.
Yeah, I don't like the whole aspect of, like, this volume, like people doing, like, 20 working sets in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, 8 to 12.
And so confirmed, he doesn't like training like Jeff Nippert.
Is that what he does?
He does like lower intense, like 3R. You know what reps in reserve is? Like 3IR and RR, and you can never say it. They're like, you got to hold back. We're training natural. We can't push too hard. It's too much.
Because you need more recovery. Yeah.
And so you're all about like.
I like training hard, intense. Or else I feel like I'm unaccomplished. I mean, I feel like I train pretty hard majority of the time, especially when I'm filming. I try to go to failure with good form always and do past failure. Like I'll have her spot me and stuff like that, but I never see anybody else in the gym doing that. I mean, I go to some pretty hardcore gyms, like Exile maybe a little bit more because it's more of a bodybuilding focused gym, but I don't think, especially kids, like teens, and not like there's not enough of them, I think, training like hard enough.
Now, what about that we disagree with? This could be scary. What do we disagree with?
I was going to say, because, I mean, that video you did on me, saying if I was natty or not, you definitely were leaning towards the not natty side. And, like, I think that I'm natty. I mean, I haven't taken, like, gear before, so I would disagree on that.
Is he blushing now?
Oh.
Is he turning red? Is that a sign? We'll get more into this in a bit. Stay tuned. And so he disagrees. He's saying he's 100% natural. As you know, in the past, I said he used to be on things. That was my opinion. We'll get into if I have changed my mind or not. We're going to find out. All right, next question. I want to know this as well. Do you still enjoy working out and dieting, or are you feeling a little burnt out?
I enjoy working out still, like, just as much as before. Now that I'm eating more, I'm also enjoying, like, the aspect of going to the gym. It has gotten harder because I have to, like, film. Like, I upload 3 days a week. A lot of it's vlogs. So, like, the filming can kind of mess up, like, the pump sometimes, or, like, having to go get a picture. Instead of, like, before I did, like, social media, I could just train however I wanted. I was fine. The dieting, I'm 100% getting sick of. And that's why I'm up, like, 9-10 pounds from my, like, most shredded this year. Because I just couldn't, like, maintain it. Like, literally hormones crash, like, no sex drive as, like, a 22-year-old is not good. My dad's testosterone was literally higher than mine. Not good. He's 58 years old. My energy in the gym was terrible, too much cardio, strength was going down, feeling flat all the time. It's not a fun world to be in for a prolonged period of time, especially if you're not, like, competing.
And so what it reminds me of is Tristan Lee. You familiar with that guy? He's like, he was 5% body fat for, like, years. It's like, it's hard. And if you're too lean for too long, as he said, lower sex drive, no energy, and so you do burn out. I remember when I competed back in the past, I do too many shows in 1 year, and I'm like, I can't keep going. I have no energy. I'm dragging my ass everywhere. I'm not getting any gains. And eventually, you got to gain some body fat. You got to eat more. So you can't always be shredded. It's just too much. Yeah,
especially if you're not like an ectomorph. I mean, people were like David. Like, David always stays pretty lean.
He was like 6% before he started training.
Yeah. For me, like I said, I'm in that middle. I'm like the mesomorph. So, like, I can gain fat. So when I force myself to be in, like, a very lean state, my body doesn't like that. It likes to be higher, like 12 to 15% body fat. So...
Really great question here. I heard Alex says he doesn't like to lift heavy because he lifts for the aesthetics in the video where he's texting his maxes. Now, do you ever deal with insecurities with the number on the bar, or does that not bother you?
I'd say I lift definitely heavier than the average person, I would say, obviously, because I go to the gym, but I don't make that my priority. I see a lot of people doing like the 1 rep maxes. I never train like that, so I made a YouTube video of testing my 1 rep maxes, and they weren't like, I would assume people would think I'm stronger than I am, like especially like my chest. They'd like see I have a big chest, they'd be like, oh, he probably benches at least 315, and I don't. I wouldn't say I get insecure about it, because again, like that's not my goal. If I was training to be strong and I was still weak, then I'd be like, okay, like this sucks, like what's going on, but the fact that I never wanted a max, like I was happy with the weight that I put up, given I don't train that way. You get, people train for powerlifting, people train for bodybuilding, or like hypertrophy, and that's what I do. So I'm not really pressed about that.
And so what I'm hearing is you don't care about if somebody's with you, let's say you're training with, I don't know, Will Tennyson, and he's got more weight on the bar than you. You're not going to be like, I need to like show off and lift as much as you. You're cool with, if a girl comes in and outlifts you on the deadlift, so what? I'm lifting for aesthetics. That number doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I don't. What I'm gonna put more weight on just to get injured or just to not even feel the muscle activate. Like I just don't. That's not how I train. So
I can tell you from my experience being a world champion in powerlifting and having world records, and now I'm not strong anymore. It's not easy. Like, I want to have that weight because I used to go in the gym and I could outlift everyone and everything. I was that strong guy. Now I'm going in there, lighter weights, higher reps, great technique. And so it does hurt the ego a little bit. But the way I'm seeing it is I'd rather just not care about that and just look better. So I'm kind of training more like you, more of the aesthetics and just being generally healthy than risking injury and just trying to show off.
Yeah. So I think that's the best way to go about it. So
no more ego lifting, people. Ask him to name the top 3, but we don't got time. Like the number one thing that's changed on people, how they treat you and stuff since you got like completely shredded. Like how did that change in your life? What was the effect?
Like 10 times the amount of fake natty accusations. Just from going from like 190 to 170, 190, everybody thought I was like, he's like a big dude, bulked up and just lifts heavy, whatever. Get to 170. Oh, even though I'm way smaller, he's a fake natty. He's too lean, like the too veiny. You know what I mean? Because everything pops more, so you look bigger, even though on the scale you're lighter. 100%. When I got like the leanest I was is when I was getting like all the fake natty stuff. And
so the leaner you get, the more fake natty accusations you get. And so kind of like if you're shredded, people almost think it's harder to achieve. And so do you take that as like a compliment because it's like it's hard to achieve and you're getting more fake natty accusations? Is that like yes? Or are you like, well shit, I better get fatter so that I don't get those accusations?
I think it's a compliment, to be honest, because like if they're saying that means my physique is good enough to be enhanced, which obviously would be a good thing if you're like can look like you're enhanced, because I know that I'm not taking steroids, so like that to me is a compliment. But yeah.
Now, I'm going back to when the first time I remember anyone accusing me of steroids. I was in university my first year, and somebody in my section of my like university dorm was like, I went in his room and I found the needles, and he started telling everyone about that. And I was 150% natural. I wasn't even taking caffeine pills. Like I'm so natural, it's ridiculous. So, I'm like, can you take caffeine at the show? Like I want to, like, can you drink a coffee? I'm like so natural, and I'm like, it's not true. And I was offended at first. Then I was like, wait a minute. People believe it, that means they must think I look pretty good. Because my goal back then was to look like I work out with a shirt on. Like, if I took my shirt off and flexed, everyone's like, holy, you got muscle. Like, I was winning shows. But with a T-shirt on, couldn't tell I worked out.
Yeah.
So I did get it.
That's how it is when you're natty. When you're natty, I swear that's how it is. When you have a T-shirt on, you look like small.
You look just normal.
Yeah.
But it's funny what you can look like you said. When you got shredded, everyone's like, holy shit. But when you're like not dieted, it's like kind of like, oh, you're just like one of us. Because
it's like the freak factor of like the vascularity, the striations, like those like the two things that usually you would assume would translate to somebody who's on gear. Like when I get shredded, I'm like dummy vascular, like 3D veins, and I have like crazy striations in my delts and stuff, which people like I guess associate with gear usage. So
and it's such a big difference with the light and the pump, isn't it? Like if I'm not pumped, I just look. Even now, I'm not like I don't feel like I look that big. But if I go in the gym, like we haven't worked out together yet, but like if I'm pumped up, I look like a different person.
That's what everybody says. Like the same thing with me. When I get like a chest, like even my girlfriend will say, like it's like it's huge. It's like when I get like a chest or a delt pump, it's just like completely different from when you're like flat in the morning, especially when you're flat in the morning to like post workout when I have like intra workout carbs and I look cracked after that. Yeah.
Awesome. Does having a great physique, and clearly he's got a great physique now, and his girlfriend's in the room listening, so don't know what he's going to say. Does it help him get more attention from women?
So I'm gonna say No. Like, a lot of people go into it saying, like, oh, like, they're gonna get more girls, go to the beach, look good. But based on my experience, like, completely no. I get more guys than anything. Like, who will come up to me and be like, yo, you look sick. It's never girls to do that. My, like, following ratio is 95% male and 5% female, right? And I have, like, a bunch of followers, so.
95. I'm getting more attention from women than you. I have 92%
That's
male
crazy.
and 8% women. So
That's
I guess
crazy.
I'm a ladies' man.
Yeah, Abby always says, like, maybe people associate me with, like, feminine features because of my hair, so maybe that's why the dudes like me so much. But I don't know, the one time I did get extra attention, I did go to a frat party, did Bodybuilder Crash's frat party for a YouTube video, and I was getting a lot of attention from the females then. But they all thought I was, like, clouded up, so it might have been the clout, too. You know what I mean?
90% of the times that a girl approaches me, it's like, oh my God, my boyfriend follows me, and you're like the guy that he's always watching, talking about you. It's hilarious. Can we take a picture? I want to send it to my boyfriend.
Yeah, that was the only DMs I ever got were, like, was like that. Yo, can you say happy birthday to my boyfriend or follow him? Like, that's only DMs I ever got. Never DMs, like, of a girl sliding in other than her. She slid in my DMs, but that was about it.
Now, I got to know this. If you had a choice between being a 5'6" man like me, with jacked muscles, the body of your dreams, Chris Bumstead, a short Chris Bumstead, or being like 6 foot plus and not having a jack physique, what are you taking?
So you're saying 5'6"?
5'6" manlet, my height,
Okay.
me, with a better physique than me, who is your favorite physique?
I would say, like, of all time, for me, Frank Zane, like, is what I would attain, but I think C-Bum also is, like, probably...
There you go. A 5'6" C-Bum or Frank Zane, or 6'2" guy without a lot of muscle.
No, I think I would do 5'6". I would do 5'6". You can always get those stilts. They add, like, 2 inches to your soles. I'd probably run up with them.
Could do that.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I'm taking 5'6", but who cares about your height? But actually, everyone cares because I've done videos on girls, and it's like, if you're a 10...
Yeah.
But you're 5'6", you're a 1. I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah, and 100%. Like, David Lee was, like, 6'2" or something. And, like, he's not the biggest dude, but he looks crazy because he's like that. It's just, he's a good-looking dude, and it's because he's, like, tall. If he was, like, I guarantee you, if David was, like, 5'8", it would not be anywhere near as, like, impressive.
And that's still 2 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
I have an uphill battle, literally. I'm at the bottom of the hill. It's like everything is above my head. What
literally.
am I going to do?
Yeah.
Exactly, quite literally. If you had to choose, you shave your head or lose your gains, and you're not shredded, what are you picking? Like basically, I'm like, how important is your hair? Like, would you shave your head if you could lose all your gains and have that dream? Like, what's more important, the hair or the physique?
The physique is just that I've built my, like, business around, like, I guess, like, the Greek god aesthetic, which happens to do with, like, the flow, and, like, if I would always say, if I ever fell off of social media, I'll go like bald because I know it'll spark something up. You know what I mean? So I would choose a physique over the hair though, any day.
Now, if let's say down the road in the future you needed to take HRT or something or whatever, and you knew that would cause balding, would you still do it, or you'd be like, I'd rather just be like depressed and have like low energy, or would I be like, I like. I'm just curious, like, how important is that? Because a lot of guys are scared of losing their hair. I mean, I had a freaking hair transplant.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I probably would do that if I, like... So I feel like I'd be... The fact that I know I could, like, fix it, I'd probably be more... Like, I'd be okay with doing it.
Yeah, so if you were going bald, you could just get a hair transplant and get it fixed. So why not?
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
There you have it. Would you ever consider hopping on gear? He already has an amazing physique.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, it's a thing I've battled with quite a bit, like... pretty often. I mean, this is my job. Obviously, the better you look, the more likely you're gonna make more money, get more followers, monetize yourself more. So there's like that incentive to it. Part of the reason why I haven't yet is obviously because of my age. Is because I've kind of built my following around that whole natty, like, natural, like, aesthetic thing. And then the others that I'm low key, like, scared, I guess, just because, like, of not being able to maybe reverse it. Maybe my body doesn't take it well, or maybe it's hard to get kids. I know there's, like, safe ways to do it. I just feel like I can't even take like, I'm scared to take regular I couldn't even take, like, anxiety pills or something. Like, I freak out over little things like that. Like, when I go to take Advil or something, like, I have to take the dose. I can't take any more extra, or, like, I'm weird even about stuff like that. So the fact of, like, doing a hormone, it, like, kind of scares me just because it's, like, the unknown. But I wouldn't say I'm closed off to it. I've been able to fix my testosterone a little bit, just being a higher body fat. It's back up to, like, 500 now instead of 215. But obviously when I go to get shredded again, it's going to crash again. I'm going to feel bad. And I feel like if it's like that for a prolonged period of time, I might be able to consider it. It's just I don't know how social media is going to take it when I go to do that. But
Yeah, and so those of you who don't know, there's a lot of pressure to look a certain way. And just think of it like this. You're all watching this. If somebody said, I'll give you $10 million if you take this and you put on 20 pounds of muscle and you'll be this famous actor in a movie role, would you do it? And it's easy to sit there and say, no, I would never do it until it's in your face. And you know it can happen. And so don't be judging if somebody ever decides to do it in the future, because what would you do? Like, think of all the movie stars and whatnot, the Thors and all these guys. It's like, it's so tempting.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like for a lot of people, it is a better way of living life. Like, who wants to live life at, like, that 200? Like, you feel terrible, no sex drive, like, no, like, your mental clarity is bad, no motivation. Like, nobody wants to live like that. That's, like, you're making yourself suffer for what? Just so you can get that natty card? You know what I mean?
And so I'm just curious to see what you think of this, because I've done 42 shows natural. I've done 59 in all. So I've done them both, and I know what it's like. And my brother's here watching, Editor Steve. He's done how many shows did you do? Like a dozen, like more, a lot. So just and so we dieted to like 5% body fat, like natural, like ridiculous. He was down to 128 pounds at the drug tested nationals one year. 128 pounds. We were just peeled, but felt like absolute dog shit. Like it was like you could hardly do anything. It's a nightmare. And you dieted a little bit and stopped. So imagine that, and like we did that for like multiple, I don't know how many. I did like 20 years of this. And then I went on gear. And so then people are judging me, and I'm like, you didn't go through what I went through and felt like I felt and then wanted to get a pro card. It's like, and I was given that opportunity. Like, that $10 million wasn't $10 million, but it was like, I can get a pro card if I do this. I can get this contract, this supplement contract, the endorsements. Deals. I had all of it lined up. All I had to do is win this pro card. And I'm like, all I have to do is go on, and I know I'm going to do it. And so I did. And so you can judge me how you want, but at least I'm not lying about it. Not like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling people. It's not like I tell people I'm on 140 milligrams of test a week. They don't believe it. You're on test, you're in trend, your chest is red, you're on growth hormone. I'm like, if I was on it, I would say it, because that'd be a great video.
I mean, that all stems from insecurity, envy, and in the society we live in. If people like see something that subconsciously they know that they can't obtain, whether because they're lazy or whatever, they try to just accuse you, oh, he's taking more because it makes themselves feel better. Because it's always from jealousy and envy. It's why people do that stuff all the time.
Next time on Coach Greg.
And I'm just guessing. And like, as I'm seeing him for the first time here, do you have a preference on the side?
My right one for sure.
All right, let's get the arm size here. Do you like Greg Doucette? So you might hate me because of that video. Like, who knows? Just be honest. Like, what do you think? No, I mean, what did you think when I made the video? You're like, mother.
At first, I was like, damn.